Okay, so here's a scatter graph, right? Now, does that scatter graph form a straight line? It looks pretty close, but it looks like if I cut from here to here, all three of these points are below the line. So it looks like it has some curvature like this, okay? So I would fit a curve to this line. It might look something like this, okay? Then I could take 3 points on that curve. Not 3 of these points, although 3 of these points would probably work pretty well because we don't have a lot of uncertainty in this data, okay? Now if you graph this very carefully, okay, just to speak of uncertainty, if you graph this very carefully and maybe with a scale where you only go from 40 to 80 here, so you put the 40 down here, the 80 up here, and you don't worry about the fact that you don't have the origin, okay? And you put, you know, just, well, you go from 10 to 50, okay? And spread the graph out so that the graph region, the region where you actually have your data points, is more rectangular, I mean more closer to square. You would see the curvature a little better. Okay, well, we have the data points. If I just do straight line approximation, well, if I do fundamental triangles, I can easily calculate the slopes, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's actually do that. I'll just do it in my head real quickly. Okay. So it'll probably be wrong. Okay. But we'll get the idea. So I'm going to calculate the slopes because what we want to do before we choose our data points and try to fit to a model is we want to see just if we got a consistent trend in the slopes. Okay? That'll be a pretty good indication of whether we have good data or not. There are limitations to our data because I was only estimating these within a half a centimeter, right? Mm-hmm. So any one of these points could really be half a centimeter right or left. Well, half a centimeter isn't far, but that could still affect things. And then you were counting, well, were you almost up to the next count when I said stop, or had you just made the last count just before I counted, right? So that could affect your count by plus or minus 1, which would have a certain percent effect on the period that we calculated. So there are inherent uncertainties. We didn't observe it closely enough, okay? If we used a stopwatch or made a longer count, we'd get rid of a lot of that uncertainty.